Okay, before you click away, hear me out. I'm doing this for a test, for you and for me. Now, I already know that in Texas, doing a brisket in the oven get you 10 days in jail. It is against the law. I'm gonna do my time. No big deal. But we need to do this anyways. Obviously, this is gonna have pretty much no smoke flavor because it's in an oven. There's no pellets, there's no charcoal. This is just a gas burner. I'm gonna try to make up with that by doing some Lucky Shake here. Now, I have not tried this. I opened it up, smelled great. So I'm gonna do traditional pepper, use this rub, put it in there. Traditional process. We're gonna get the bark set, hopefully. We'll take it out, wrap it in paper, stick it back in and get it to a finish point. I wanna see what the texture is. I wanna see what the flavor is and the lack of smoke. So let's get this going. Now, I picked this up at the local store. This one's already pre-cut. I was kind of being lazy. Now, if you're not familiar with the different styles of brisket that you can get them already pre-trimmed is what they called it, or you can have one untrimmed. Now, that's going to be a little bit less cost depending on the size, obviously, but it just takes that service and does it for you. There's really not much to trim out of this. The fat cap looks fine. I'll probably cut some of this off and maybe this back side just to kind of get it a little more rounded. Okay, let's get the mustard on. This is your binder. You don't have to do mustard. I don't always do mustard. I use different things. I've never tried peanut butter. All right, so let's get this on. Black pepper, coarse, of course. Lucky Shake. That has a good smell. Can't really describe it. I would say that it actually smells like it actually has a little bit of a smoke smell. I will have the link to all of these down in the description. This is Uncle Steve's Shake lineup. He was nice enough to send me, I don't know if it was his entire line. It was about 6 different rubs. I've used them over the last year on different things. It's got some good stuff. Okay, let's flip this over. Mustard. Coarse pepper. Oh yeah. Uncle Steve. think we've got a huge chunk in here. It's part of the problem. Got to shake this up. Okay. Okay, so I've already got the oven preheated 275. That's what I plan on running this brisket to until the bark is set. If it ever makes bark, we'll see. Believe it or not, I actually found the original temp sensor for the oven. So I'm actually going to try this. It's supposed to give you a digital readout right on the face of the oven. But as backup, you always want to make sure you have something else. I do have the meter I'm going to stick in here. Let's get this in the oven and get it started. Okay, here we go. I'm going to set it right in here. I'm going to take this pan and put it underneath. Actually, I think what I might do is get a little bit of water in that pan. Now, let's see if this will reach. It does reach. Put that in there like that. Set probe temp. Why would you set a probe temp? I don't get it. Press temp or options. Temp. Where's temp?
Edit temp or options, then press start.
Probe connected. 203.
There's a 3.
Yeah, sure, 320. Okay, so after a few minutes of messing with this oven, I think I've got it set. It's a little strange. It wants to set a max temperature, but it won't let you put 203. 200 is the highest. Anyway, it looks like it's reading. It's showing 53. No, I can't check to see what the meter is doing because my phone is actually recording right now. So I will verify that 53 is accurate versus the meter probe. But it's in there. I'm going to put a little water in the pan and we're going to let it rip to see what happens in a few hours. Check you later. Well, let's take a look. It's been 5.5 hours at 275. The internal temp is reading 175. The bark, doesn't look like bark that you would see typically on my other videos. The bark is kind of looking more like as if it was hamburger ground beef. But hey, we're doing this in the oven. So let's get this on the counter and get it wrapped. Okay, so let's get this out of the way for just a second and get the butcher paper. This can sometimes be a little bit difficult to manage. Paper wants to roll up on you. Now I'm just spraying this down with water. All right, stay there. Let me get my brisket. Okay. Remove the sensor, and I'll just be putting that right back in after I wrap this. Okay. Do it like that. Scoop that under. Come here. Spray. Now, like so. I'm better at wrapping Christmas gifts than I am this. Sometimes you make these better than others. Sometimes you just got to completely start over because it was terrible. Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. Nice and neat. Let's get our temp sensor, put that back in. Just gonna kind of gauge where that is, try to get between the point and the flat. Oh. Okay. Okay, the time has come. The internal temperature reached 203. This happened way faster than I thought. It's actually been a total of probably 8 hours. That's warm. That is a long time for an oven to run. I'm sure the gas bill is going to be nice. Okay. Let's get this sensor out. Let's take a look. Now, it does not smell how it would normally smell brisket when it enters the house. This has an aroma of smokiness missing. Anyhow, I ended up taking this out. This particular sensor with this oven ended up being about 10 degrees higher, and I don't trust that. I actually trust my meter. So let's see. Is that loud? So, like I said, the bark does not look like it typically does. Let me get all this out of here. Let's take a look here. Got my chef's temp meter. It's nice and jiggly. Let's go at the flat. 202. It is probe tender. Let me flip that over. 197. 201. Okay. Now, the good thing is this time cooking in the oven turned out much safer. If you remember last time, kind of had a problem. I let the paper accidentally touch part of the inside of the oven. Okay. Okay, back to reality. Let's get this cut in, see what we got. That's hot. And just as I suspected, zero smoke ring. Zero, zero, zero. But it's juicy. Looks good. Let me get some slices here. Turn the flat around. It's actually slightly on the dry down here near the bottom of the brisket, and that's probably because of the foil pan. It's not as juicy. Like there's actually not much going on near the ends as far as juice. Maybe that's my fault. Maybe that's the pan, and maybe that's the doing it in the oven. Let me know in the comments. I'm okay for criticism. It's not like I'm going to be cooking a brisket in the oven after this. After I do my 10 days in county, that's it. I won't do this again. So, no smoke ring. Let's see. I don't like it. Even though this went to 203, it's actually on the chewy side. This really should have broke down much further. And maybe it was the pan from the bottom side. Maybe what I should try is something from the point It's got a little more fat to it and see how that turned out. Does have a little more juice. Let's see. It's hot. Surprisingly, the cap has a good flavor, but past the rub itself, there is no flavor. Honestly, I'm glad that I did this. This is actually a good test. If you had thoughts of probably doing this for a holiday with family coming over or friends, and you were maybe thinking about doing this in the oven just to kind of save, a little bit of aggravation, don't. Nope. Get a smoker. I'm Todd with Lone Star Smoke Barbecue. We'll see you next time.